You are watching the English news program on Dong Nai Provincial's essential television channels. On June 15, Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính hosted an online conference to alleviate difficulties, promote manufactures and consumptions of cement, steels, and other construction materials. The conference took place at the government headquarters and 32 local meeting points. In his opening speech, Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính stated that cement, steels are essential materials for building infrastructure. However, in the recent years, due to many domestic and international obstacles, along with the real estate market has yet to recover, it has led to the decline in productions in the industry, of which the total production output of cement and clinker in 2023 only reached 92.9 million tons. The average operating line of the entire industry only reached 75% of the total designed capacity. In 2023, the productions of construction steels reached over 10.6 million tons, mark a 12.2% decrease compared to 2022. Consumption reached 10.9 million tons, decreased 11.2% from 2022. In the face of the prolonged difficulties, Prime Minister suggests that delegates discuss and evaluate the situations straightforwardly and responsibly. He emphasized the importance of identifying the difficulties, challenges in aspects such as manufactures, domestic consumptions, export, and finance. The Prime Minister requests that delegates suggest tasks, key solutions, breakthroughs, specific roles and responsibilities for agencies in all levels and sectors to resolve bottlenecks and overcome difficulties. On June 15, a working delegation of the Ministry of Home Affairs led by Deputy Minister Nguyễn Trọng Thừa, Deputy Head of the Government's Administrative Reform Steering Committee, had a working sessions in Dong Nai. Working with the delegations were acting chairmen of the Provincial's People Committee, Võ Tấn Đức. At the working session, Dong Nai Province proposed to the government's Administrative Reform Steering Committee and the Ministry of Home Affairs to support local efforts to connect and share data across software systems to improve administrative procedures for citizens and businesses. This would help overcome the situations where civil servants and public employees have to enter data on many software, making it difficult to statistically track results. After the meeting, Deputy Ministers of Home Affairs Nguyễn Trọng Thừa recommended that Dong Nai focus on improving two key administrative reforms indicators: leaderships and administrations, and administrative procedures, to enhance its ranking and facilitate social-economic development. Acting Chairman Võ Tấn Đức expressed hope for continued support from the government's Administrative Reform Steering Committee and the Ministries of Home Affairs to help Dong Nai overcome bottlenecks, promote administrative reforms, and achieve stable socio-economic growth. To facilitate taxpayers, the tax authorities have so far connected electronic tax payments with 57 commercial banks, branches of foreign banks, and implemented various forms of electronic tax payments. Accordingly, taxpayers can pay taxes electronically through the General Departments of Taxation's Electronic Information Portal, e-tax or e-tax mobile, through organizations providing value-added tax services (TVAN), or through banking services such as internet banking, mobile banking. Statistics from the tax industry shows that over 99% of operating enterprises have conducted electronic tax payment transactions. During the periods of 2021 to 2023, the number of electronic tax payments transactions grew by an average of 10% per year. Among these, organizations and enterprises mainly pay taxes through the e-tax electronic tax services, with 866,468 billion Vietnam dong and over 4.8 million USD paid in 2023. Individuals pay taxes via the e-tax mobile services, with approximately 920,110 transactions, equivalent to nearly 2,646 billion Vietnam dong. Chinese Premier Li Qiang has called for setting aside differences with Australia as he began a 4-day visit to the country, with a commitment to expand trade despite geopolitical competitions between the two nations. Premier Li Qiang arrived in Adelaide on June 15, starting a diplomatic missions across resource-rich continent. China has gradually lifted trade sanctions imposed on Australian wine, timber, barley, and beef, which were implemented in 2022 during a diplomatic rift with the previous Conservative government. Tariffs on lobsters remains in place. These measures have caused Australian exporters to lose about 20 billion AUD, equivalent of 13 billion USD annually. Economic relations between the two countries have eased since Prime Minister Anthony Albanese's government took office in 2022 and adopted a softer diplomatic approach with Beijing. Premier Li Qiang stated in a written statement that mutual respect, seeking common ground while setting aside differences and mutually beneficial cooperations is the key to developing China-Australia relations. Premier Li Qiang is the highest-ranking Chinese official to visit Australia since 2017. Today, he is expected to hold talks with his host counterpart. Thousands of French citizens participated in nationwide protests on June 15 to oppose the rise of the far-right National Front Party following the last week's European Parliament elections. French police reported that around 350,000 people participated in approximately 150 marches and demonstrations across the country, including the capital Paris and many other cities, following the call of left-wing parties. One protester said, "History has shown us what happens if the far right, with their hatred and intolerance, come to power." Many protesters clashed with the police. Security forces state that these demonstrations might be the largest ever. 21,000 police officers and security personnel were deployed to ensure that the protests did not turn violent. That is all for today. Thank you for watching.